What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Kumo, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you and also I'm gonna dissect on how I made that sound. Please consider liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right into it. I'm gonna come to the keyboard, and then we're gonna go to main settings. Pretty much what I did, I actually just initialized the synthesizer. I just came right about there. The synthesizer was in reset. The sound is made up of a saw mixed with a square wave. You can just see that right about there. You can just literally choose between that, then you can change the position right there. So yeah, and I changed the synthesizer to wavetable. So yeah, instead of like FM, so I added two variables on the density, and then I did not detune them. So if I were to detune them, this is how it sound. So you get the idea. So you want to put that on 0, and then what I also did, the spread was at 0, and then I increased it like to like 50% to make it a little bit more wider. Now we're gonna come to the filter envelope and the amplitude. On the filter side, I just took like the sustain. Pretty much, obviously, that sustain is always on 0, and then the decay, you want to like leave it always there, and then your attack will be on 0, but you can actually increase it to like 30% or just like 35. Between 30 and like 35% pretty much is enough. If I take that down to 0%, it would sound pretty much more spiky. Let me just increase that. So I did not want those plosives because the problem is I've added saturation and it's gonna clash with my saturator, and it's gonna be pretty much, again, I get squashed too much, so I did not want that. So you want to put your attack time to like 30%. Yeah. Now you can come to the third oscillator. In the third oscillator, we did not like enable the third oscillator on itself. What I actually used was the noise. So what I did, it will be on default like this, and then what I did, I just add like 22% of like noise level. So this is pretty much how it sounds. And I did not want that. And then what I did, I increased like the width to make it wide, and increased like my high pass filter to the point where I feel like I'm satisfied. I put it like 6,000, 6,500, somewhere there, because I did not want that low end rumble, because our oscillator 1 is actually doing that job for us. So you want to take that down, not too much. 22% was enough for the sound. Then I came to the glide. On the glide, I just put that to like 50%. The glide knob just pretty much tells you how long your note or your sound will take to get to its actual pitch. So yeah, I put it at 50%. You don't want to make it too much, as it will be like sound weird. So you want to put that like on like 50%. And then you want to increase your release. So my release, I'll put it like 70%. You can experiment with however you want, but I just put mine at like 70%, and it was the sweet spot. So 70% was the sweet spot for me. And then we came to unison voices. I put the spread to like 50% and put the detune to 50%. So it will make it pretty much wide. We were almost done, and then I came to the mod matrix. On the mod matrix, this is where you can make sounds that sound unique. You can make the sounds sound way out of the blue. So what I did, I came to the LFOs, and then I took the first LFO 1 and routed it to the filter cutoff, and like put it like 73%. What this is gonna do, LFO 1 is modulating this knob, so hence why it sounds so. And then we're gonna increase the rate just to hear the LFO. So that is what the LFO 1 is doing. It's actually like modulating the filter cutoff, and then I decreased the amount to like 50% because I did not like want the sound and I did not want the LFO to fully modulate the whole entire sound. So 50% was enough, and the LFO was set in polyrhythm. And then what I did, I came to the oscillator 2, and in oscillator 2, what I did, I just went to oscillator 1 and just set the pan. So if I come to oscillator 2, what oscillator 2 is doing is just modulating the pan of oscillator 1. So that's pretty much what it's doing. And then I'm going to come back on LFOs, and then on LFO what I did was LFO 1, I put like the AMT, the amount, and then I modulated its rate. So the very same knob right here, it's modulating itself, in other words. So yeah. And then I came to the MSEG1. I do not know how to pronounce that, but it's called MSEG1. And then what I did, I actually just made, the sound. I just modulated the rate. I modulated this. So the MSEG1 is modulating that knob also. So yeah. So what it's doing, it's a curve. You know what I'm saying? It's making it like curve. So it's gonna sound. So you get the point. So I came to the FX. On the FX side, what I did, I added reverb. You want to make sure your reverb is pretty much tight as possible. I took out something like the low end and decreased like the color to a bit. Maybe like 10 it will be enough. And then took like the color of like the reverb to like -6, and the time was actually decreased to like probably like 1.8 seconds. And then yeah, I came to the compression, a little bit of compression. If I play it, I did not want to add a lot of compression. I just added like a little bit of output, and also the release time is actually a short attack. Change the compressor to like vintage. And then when it comes to the EQ, and on the EQ side at 308 hertz, I just took away 5 dB, and I add a little bit of like distortion, and I did not want to overdo it, so 49% was enough. And that's pretty much how you make the sound. And then leading on to my external effects, I added EQ. So what the EQ does pretty much just cuts the low end. So we're actually removing 50 hertz of like dB on the low end side, and that's what I did. Came again and add a little bit of like saturation, added like 4 decibels of drive, put that actually in analog, and that was it. I came again and added like kickstart. We can enable it, and I just added like the first default free punch preset, put the mix to 100%. Came in again and added my EQ, and this time I removed probably like 72 hertz of low pass filter on my EQ, and that's how I did it. And this is how it sounds. Thank you for watching. That was Kumo, and peace out.